So Bill and I decided to jump out of the blimp, and we are right here in the lobby of the Helping Hands Humane Society. Bill, here we are.
Welcome to Helping Hands Humane Society, Chris, and here we are in the front lobby of the entryway. I've stood here many an afternoon and welcomed a lot of people, and it's a pleasure to welcome you.
We're very glad to be here, and you're going to give us a quick tour of the facility, and I tell you, it is a facility to behold. So sit back, relax, have a little popcorn, and enjoy the Helping Hands Humane Shelter. So as you walk through the lobby, you're going to walk right in here, and you're going to see the reception desk. Bill, tell us a little bit about this area.
Well, immediately on your right and left on both sides are 2 cat colonies, and these have got cats and kittens in them in a living environment rather than in a cage or a kennel, and they get out and play and climb and just be cats, and that's been kind of fun. Our reception area, the theme inside the whole building is done on an octagon premise. Again, the second best home your pet will ever have around the octagon reception, and then we have the octagon display that leads you back around to the main dog adoption.
Absolutely. It's really a cool little area in here.
It really is.
It's quite different from your North Topeka.
Well, this lobby is almost as big as the whole shelter. Off to the immediate left, and it's part of the octagon theme again, is our new gift shop that's been very successful, filled with just stuff to get you home with to begin, but also the now famous Helping Hands hoodie or logoed t-shirt, that kind of thing.
Available for sale in the Helping Hands gift shop right around the corner right over here. And tell us what you like about here. Okay, good. What do you guys use the education center for?
Well, this has become a very popular room, and it's actually one of my favorite rooms in the whole building, because this is the room that we'll use to talk with the young people about their pet and animal welfare. We also are using it and set it up the other day for Leadership Topeka. Their new class got to come in, and then we gave a tour. I have many evenings where we will book tours for the Ladies Club or Rotary Lions Club, those kinds of things, and we invite them to come in. We can actually cater in. There's a small kitchenette in there if they'd like to have their meal here. We want them to be a part of this effort of education. So they can use the room as long as we're part of the program, and they can take a tour. It gives them an opportunity to kind of change their venue up and share in a shelter evening, for example.
So we got the truth about cats and dogs over here. We're in the cat condo section. Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, these are really their apartments, and it's really been nice for us because, again, behind the glass we see they come to the front so that they can show themselves off, and that's really helped cat adoptions increase in the time that we've been here. The really cool part is their litter pan tray is behind this porthole. You and I don't have to see it, but they have easy access from inside. And they can take care of business without having to worry about it in their living quarters. If we have 2 cats that get along, we can pull the floor up from the top one and they can actually share, which just makes their apartment even bigger. The dogs need to get out of the building and come out and get some fresh air and just play. This is part of what was a little bit of a controversy, but we settled that with the neighborhood. We put a wall up so there's no sound going over there, and we've got everybody out here is always monitored. This is drain system underneath this so that we can wash and disinfect it. It is turf, so it doesn't need mowing or weeding. There are 5 individual little get acquainted areas so we can play outside with, again, a couple and see how they get along, or we can come over on the big side and we can actually play fetch and ball out here without any trouble, and it's a lot of fun to watch them get out and play. We went from one desk in the front lobby that everybody had to share and trip over customers, and everybody's business was everybody's business out there, and that just didn't seem right. So in the new shelter, we put 5 cubicle units in, and each counselor has their own station, their own computer where they can do the paperwork behind the cubicle so that the dog you adopted was your business and all the transaction was your business.
And of course, when I got my dog, it was really cool when they wrote my dog's name right up on the board and just made me feel like he was adopted and he's ready to go home.
15, it looks like, today alone.
That's a good day.
Not bad when we've still got a little time left in the day.
And that's a Monday, because it's the dog room, and I'm kind of a dog person. Max is a cat person behind the camera, so I can't say anything about cats because he'll turn the camera off. But we do have some wonderful kennels in here. I think these are great. This is the glass that you were talking about.
This is exactly the difference that it makes, and these kids just show so well. Do you notice how quiet it is?
Yeah.
They can see out and they don't feel like they've been captured, so they're content. They're very content, just waiting to tell somebody, hey, I'm here and I could go home with you. In this room we put the life planter, Jackson's, there's your commercial. Jackson's greenhouse comes in and changes this out for us, and we're thrilled that they are sponsoring this for us. It makes such a huge difference. But the dogs are much more content. They know that this is kind of where they need to be for now. It is warm in the winter. Out there it was hot in the summer. We had to buy ice to keep them cool and put 20 pounds block of ice in every kennel when it got above 80, only to watch it melt and go down the drain. Well, in here we have air conditioning for the summer, and we're not ready to turn it on quite yet, but we will when it's time. The other thing we've done is the air in those cat condos is different than the air in here. The air goes up through a filtration system in here and cleans out all those airborne viruses, and then comes back as good, clean air. So these kids are healthier when they leave here.
This place does not smell like it has a room full of dogs in it.
No, it
Absolutely
really doesn't.
not.
We're over here on the east side, directly across the street from Topeka West, behind the Quick Shop. And you can come in on the Bell entrance side. It will say admissions lost and found. If you have an animal you found in your yard and you're bringing it to us, this is where you will come. If you are looking for your lost pet, this is the entrance you will come into as well. The staff here will take you to that stray area that we talked about, of that 4-day time period, and let you look to see if your dog or cat would be here.
So we've just stepped in the doors of the admissions area, and you know, some folks, they have to give their pets up, and this is where they would come. Tell us a little bit about that process.
If it is one that's given up by the owner, then we can immediately go to the adoption process with that animal. We're going to ask them to fill out some paperwork, give us a little history that will only help us get the dog adopted. The more honest those are, the quicker that will help us. If it's a stray and we don't know anything about it, again, will be given that immediate first set of vaccinations to help protect it in the shelter. You know, a lot of people sometimes say, well, my dog's current on its shots. Well, you know what? He couldn't tell us that. So we want to just take all the precautions and make it just a little bit safer for them while they're here. If you call us tomorrow morning and say, you know, I'm missing my dog, it's brown and white German Shepherd, do you have one? We'll always suggest to you it's a good idea to come and look, because you might have said brown and white and we might have actually written down as white and tan. Mm-hmm. So we always encourage people to go ahead and come down anyway, just to make sure.
So this is like the pet gymnasium in here. This is really awesome. And we did mention earlier the room back in the back. That is the old pharmacy. That's about the only thing you're going to recognize about the old Dillon's
grocery
here.
store. That's the only room that we left, and it has no resemblance inside to the pharmacy anymore because it's now an office area. But this is going to be known as our engagement center, where we actually engage Northeast Kansas in animal welfare. Fun times. This is the training room, and today we're set up with the agility course in here, and those are a revenue source for the shelter and helping pay the light bill, etc., etc. Fun time, fun room to be in. Lots of activity always going on. We anticipate we'll start some afternoon sessions as well.
And how many dogs would be in a course?
It can vary anywhere from 8 to 10, dogs and owners. You know, it's important. We can train them very easily. The tough part's training you.
Yeah.
So in order to be successful, that's the secret behind it, is we're really only working with the dog and kind of playing with it. We're training you to make it a better pet.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for giving us a tour of the whole facility here. It really is a breathtaking achievement for Topeka.
Well, thanks, Chris. We're very proud of it. We want Topeka to be equally as proud of it. It's a great second-best home for the animals.
So I'll tell all of you folks at home, if you haven't been here, come out and check it out. And I'm sure the dogs would just love to see you. The cats would love to see you. All the animals would love to see you. And the next time you think about getting a new member of your family, you need to be coming right here to the Helping Hands Humane Shelter, right at, what's our address over here?
21st and Bell.
21st and Bell. That's where we're at. So come down and see Bill and all the rest of the folks down here at the Helping Hands Humane Shelter. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of TalkAboutTopeka.com. I'm Chris Schultz. If you enjoyed what you saw here, you can help our guests by sharing our links with your friends. You can also find out everything that's going on with us by following us on our website at TalkAboutTopeka.com. You can also be sure to like us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, or you can send us a message on Gmail. Thanks so much for tuning in.